Mambo Vipi Kenya, welcome to Nairobi Car Journey. I'm Raphael.
And I'm Adrian.
And in today's video, we have with us the Mitsubishi Pajero Long Exceed from 2003. And starting with the front section of this car, one thing I love, this car does not look aggressive whatsoever. These headlights are so down. It looks like it wants to blink at you. God knows why I started with that, but I just stuck with it. This car flexes that it is the diesel variant, and depending on the variant, you get a different logo. This is to help you with the dimensions of the car. I thought it was a radar, like, I don't know, shoot darts at you. It's cool initially, but just to help, especially since you'll be taking this car off-roading most of the time. Speaking of off-roading, you have a skid plate. In case you want to run someone over, you just hear before they die. Don't kill anyone. Don't tell me. Moving along to the side. Right? The car's profile is kind of generic. The only thing it really got going for it is the two-tone paint, which is just amazing with this car. It has green, this color of green, I can never remember, and Silverstone grey. Now the owner chose to put also a white colored top, mainly because of solar. This sun that's burning and making me black by the day. This white top is to prevent the car from overcooking inside. It also comes with these all-terrain tires, because again, this car will be going off-roading 90 to 1,000,000% of the time. And personally, I love how the owner decided to draw this emblem of Mitsubishi, because it does not come with that. Strangely enough, it should, but it doesn't. You can't complain, because when you move to the back of the car, you get an even bigger Mitsubishi logo, again, done by the owner himself. And I won't complain about the job he did. They did an excellent job, but using Ziplocs to shika your spare wheel isn't really the best of ideas, especially if you're off-roading, which I've mentioned 1,000 times. As a spoiler up here, used to have the Pajero logo here. God knows that went in the streets of Nairobi, but it went somewhere. Another guard here to slightly protect you, but it's plastic, so you can see there's a giant gaping hole there, and the exhaust here, and two more witches. And this car's ability to tow, I cannot emphasize, it's ludicrous. It's towed dome tents and trailers because of it's owned by our sponsors. That's by Kathy.
We wanted to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Events by Kathy. If you're looking for an event planner who can create an experience that's both sophisticated and stunning, look no further. Events by Kathy specializes in weddings, birthday parties, corporate functions, and just about any occasion you can imagine. Their attention to detail is incredible, and they have a knack for transforming ordinary spaces into something truly magical. If you're curious to see their work or want to get in touch with them, we included their website and contact information in the description.
So, this car is powered by a 3.2 liter turbocharged inline 4 diesel engine that puts out a whopping 175 horsepower and 390 Newton meters of torque. Now the thing is, this car uses the Mitsubishi Super Select system, meaning by default it's rear-wheel drive, but you can make it four-wheel drive, and they actually encourage most people to drive with the four-wheel drive because you just have added traction and added stability. The only difference is that you can't use it above the speed of 80, or rather you can't switch between them. You also have a 4-high low range mode and a 4-high low crawl mode, which I will get into, but it's not that complicated because this car is still from 2003 when let's just say the system wasn't that complex. Talking about complexities, let's look at the interior with its simplistic design.
A little step over there, a mud step to help you get in the car because it's a 4x4. This car, the interior is kind of simplistic. There's not that much for it, but for its time it was really nice, honestly. These seats weren't really the same as they were. The owner put on other stuff because of the seats are wearing out. It's an old car. Originally, it's more felt, as you'll see. I'll show you that. Over here, the speedometer. The speedometer is really simple, although it's really nice. It shows your drivetrain when you're switching it, when you're going off-roading. Rafael will talk about that later. And it also shows which doors are open. But besides that, not that much. Shows your odometer, pretty much it. This car had cruise control, which was special for that time. Most cars didn't have any cruise control. It's more of a premium feature. As well as its automatic lights, which switch on when it gets dark. I know, so exciting.
Oh my God! Wow!
But it was long ago. This center console was different. It's not the same as it was then. This was changed by the owner also. I'll show you how that used to look. This dashboard, I do have to say, it's like, I don't know what this material is. It's like some strange leather. I don't know whether they wanted to do some plastic. It doesn't feel too genuine, and it's also small, but hey, I guess not that bad. The storage in this car, there's a decent amount of storage. The door bins are kind of small. There's this middle section over here with 2 compartments, a deeper one and this one on top. There's your cup holders, which you only have 2 in front, and these small spaces, I don't know what you'd really keep there. Can't really keep the keys. It's not a push to start. So there's also the glove box, which is decently sized, pretty nice. And there's off-roading features of the car. These handles, which are very nice and sturdy when the car is shaking and shaking all the time. Although for some reason the driver doesn't have this one handle. I don't really know why. It doesn't make much sense. Yeah. Also, this middle section over here is how you switch between your drivetrains. Although I do not know too much about that. That's Raphael's job to know. Moving on to the back. So the back of the car is relatively simple. There's not much here. More handles for you to hold on to when you're off-roading. There's a AC down here, which is pretty simple. It's just a button to switch it on, 3 settings, and the heat controls. So not that much. These door pockets over here are they're not okay. These were added by the owner, although there were larger door pockets before. These are not door pockets. I keep saying door pockets, don't I? These are seat pockets, not door pockets. I'm sorry. Seat pockets. They are those there. Here there is storage for cigarette. Okay. Here there is middle thing for when you have 4 passengers. Yeah, you can use it as an armrest and a cup holder. Though I don't really know how you'd use it as an armrest if you're, having cups here. You can't have to. And if it's someone else's elbow, the mask doesn't really check out that much. Get what I mean? But it is not bad. And then there's a leg room for the car, which is okay, but like it's really raised. Your thighs aren't sitting here, so when you start driving for a long time, you don't really have a place to leave your legs. Start lugging to the left, lugging to the right, which is odd for such a large car. You'd expect that there would be more space for you to sit and your thighs to be supported. If at the time this was more premium, if you get what I mean. But I guess there's not much you could do about that. Anyway, moving on to the boot. So the boot of this car is very beautiful. If I could open this easily in the first place, which is actually okay. I was supposed to be pretending at first. It's actually okay there. That's a problem with all Pajeros apparently. But the boot is really big. It's really nice. Don't know the numbers. Here they are. But like, it's really good for hauling stuff. You can fold that seat completely to give you even more space with the numbers here. And there's an extra seat here for you to carry 7 passengers. Now, how good that is debatable, because of if your passengers don't have legs, then maybe you can carry them with those seats. I don't know about you, but like, that's not meant for people above the average height, if you get what I mean. Not like that I'm a part of that, but you get what I mean. Anyway, wait, cup holders. There are cup holders. That is it. Moving on to drive.
So I know I said that the Super Select system isn't that complicated. It's one of the most complicated things I've ever had.
Yeah, I don't know why you said that.
You see, it uses a vacuum solenoid.
Oh.
The car did not start. I tried to start it. Still did not start.
Try again. There we
Oh, it
go.
started. So it uses a vacuum pump solenoid system that tends to fail quite often, and everyone gets something we call orangey, where the orange light keeps flashing on and off, on and off, on and off.
You will see that probably.
Now, so any thoughts about the interior before I talk about the drive? Because I kind of want to get off this rough road that we were on.
I think the drive from a passenger's perspective, the suspension is pretty good. It's really smooth, not that bad. Sometimes it can be a bit jerky and bouncy, but it gets the job done, especially when you're on a rough road. If you've ever tried going on a road with a low car like a Mercedes, you'd know that it's practically impossible and one of the most uncomfortable rides you could have. Whereas this one, you can be cruising at 70 on rough roads and not care.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that because I can't afford to buy someone a new suspension system. But speaking on still the same topic, like right now, the car is doing relatively well. It handles its weight very well. The only thing I hate about this car in specific is on the road. This car's center of gravity is absolutely whack, right? It's top heavy, so you feel like you're gonna roll. If you're moving above 50 kilometers an hour in a corner, you can feel the car is about to go whoo, tip over. It wants to like flip. It feels like it's challenging a G-Wagon who can flip fast, which is not that inspiring, but I'm not complaining. And engine-wise, the car, that turbo really gives it a kick. Like if I press it down, I'm just gonna try it and be ready. That thing's probably gonna fall.
This was what the handles were for.
I saw that coming. I called it twice. Called it thrice. I don't know why you were grabbing a handle. I was referring to the camera. No, I was referring to the camera. Hold the camera.
I've been traumatized by the Range Rover. Okay. As you are.
Yeah, you accelerate as the phone should. Our camera, it's a phone. It will drop. You are thrown back quickly because of it has a quick ounce of torque, but it dies out quite quickly. And this car only has 4 gears. I forgot to mention that. This car only has 4 gears, which it feels a bit low in terms of, especially when you're like in the higher speeds of like 80, trying to reach 110, you can hear the car somewhat straining to pass that speed.
It's like it needs a gear up or something.
But it still does perfectly fine other than that. Especially if the car is fully loaded. You, strangely enough, if you're in rear wheel drive, and I will talk about the Super Select just now, if you're in rear wheel drive and the car is fully loaded, you feel like you have more grip because of, I don't know, the rear wheels tend to spin out quite a lot. They keep spinning and doing their own things.
Yeah.
God knows why, but they do tend to do that. Right now I am actually in 4 high because of we're on this rough terrain, and I just felt like using it. I felt like using the rough terrain because of it, right? There is also the 4 high low mode, which increases the amount of torque. Okay, I'm just gonna pause the video here that properly explains exactly why. This guy has no idea what he's talking about, but mainly you have the 2 high mode. This sends power only to the rear wheels, good for everyday driving, but you have reduced traction but improved fuel economy, unlike the 4 high mode where you have less, slightly degraded fuel economy consumption, but still really good with traction because you have power going to all 4 wheels. Then you have the 4 high with the diff locked, so the axle is rotating at the same speed and it provides maximum traction, especially when you're doing off-road conditions like sand, mud, or deep snow. But you shouldn't drive with it for too long because of course it will cause damage to the drivetrain, especially if you're driving fast on a high traction surface like asphalt. And then there's the 4 low ranged with the locked center diff. So this locks the diff, but then also engages a lower gear ratio, and it improves the torque for steep inclines, extreme off-road situations, and varying low-speed maneuvering. Only, and I mean only, to be used with very low speeds. Anyway, back to that. Yeah, because I don't want to give you guys misinformation and I can't exactly remember what those two are for. I only know the rear and the front, but I'm gonna also learn by the end of this video. Other than that, AC of this car, I know it's random to keep talking about AC, but I really like the AC. The only issue is if you switch it on to full. Oh, it was whistling before.
Yeah, I don't know. Or it's whenever you close the vents.
Ah, yeah, when you close a vent, the car goes.
Yeah, for no reason.
God knows why,
But yeah, I agree with you. The AC is pretty good. Although it's only dual AC, so it's the front and the back. And like, you can switch on the AC for the front. Sorry, for the back from the front. There is one button for it. But you can't really control it, which doesn't help that much. And the vents, okay, the vents are distributed well in the back.
Yeah,
Generally.
can't really complain about them.
Although it has an issue getting hot.
Yeah, no, I think that the heating element or whatever was used for heating in the past died out.
Yeah.
Because the car, especially on a cold day, you will suffer. You will suffer. This car takes forever to heat up. God knows why, but it takes forever. It did have a heat button that's supposed to like draw out the engine's heat, especially since this car was built in Japan. It's kind of meant to survive some level of winter, but it, in all honesty, does not do that well of a job.
Yeah. And then there's also the audio. The car's speakers are, say, like 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. They are good for traveling, but like, it's not that oomph you want in music or the clarity. It's just enough for you.
Yeah, it's just it reaches like you could do better. I mean, you could probably add in your own amp. There's ample space.
And that's a fact.
There's a lot of space in the back to put an amp if you wanted. So it's up to you, honestly. And right now I am very glad I have a skid plate because the roads that we are traversing are absolutely treacherous.
And also speaking about AC, I forgot to mention the rear also has 2 windows that like, okay, they don't open, they open like with a latch and then you push it outwards. It's kind of weird, like it still works. It's better than other cars like that minivan that we reviewed, which should be up there probably. Or here, I think it's there.
No,
though.
you were right the first time. Remember I failed.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, like the minivan, because in the back, like there is a glass. You can't really open and get air. But the AC was good in that one, so it cancels itself out.
It does. Suspension. I did forget to actually mention one other thing. Car's height. It's really, really tall. Like it does. It's really tall. I mean, yeah, it has a skid plate so it doesn't scratch underneath. But 92 million% of the time, you will not hear it hit anything because of the height of the car. I did forget to mention that, but then that comes with the backfire of the center of gravity, going fast, blah blah blah, crash, roll and die.
No.
Anyway, conclusion?
I think we should do a conclusion.
So yeah, if you're looking for a rugged beast, a workhorse to do all the heavy lifting, and you don't want to own a Prado, I would highly suggest getting this V78W Mitsubishi Pajero, because even though it might not be the newest thing on the block, trust me, it will last you another 300,000 kilometers, because that's what's on the odometer. Thanks for watching.